All praises to God the Father through his Son, Jesus Christ, in the Holy Spirit. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be doing part 3 of Isaiah 3, verses 16 through 24, the daughters of Zion. Part 3 is going to be Isaiah 3 and 18. Before I get started, I want to explain a couple things about what we're doing today. If you would please, make handy a copy of the King James Version of Isaiah 3 and 18. If you have a Bible, or maybe you can get it online. So in Isaiah 3 and 18, what we did is we rewrote Isaiah 3 and 18, removing the italics. The words that are in italics are the words that the translators added so that Isaiah 3 and 18 would fit the narrative that they were trying to talk about there. That is, that the daughters of Zion were haughty and embellished. So what we did, I'll show you if I can here, I'll just show you a copy of Isaiah 3 and 18, just in case you don't have. I highlighted in yellow the words that we took out, the words in italics that we removed. The biggest phrase that we removed was about their feet. And when we get to the end, I'll explain to you why we did that. Those words were added by the translators. Well, I'll just talk about it now a little bit. The translators had a narrative that they were working in. And so what they did was they added words. They put about their feet in because they had talked about tinkling before as it related to the brass anklets that the daughters of Zion were wearing, jewelry as it were. But here, and we'll get to that in a minute, tinkling does not mean the same thing here in 3:18 as it did in 3:16. Okay, so what we did was just took their words out, left the word of God there, and so let's get started. So in the rewritten version, minus the italics, minus the words of the translators, it reads, "In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of tinkling ornaments and cowls and round tires like the moon." First word we'll look at is tinkling. That word tinkling is not listed in the Hebrew dictionary. And so I'm going to show you how it looks here. If you can, there's the word tinkling. I highlighted it. If you look all the way over to the right, you'll see numbers. Those are the numbers, reference numbers in that Hebrew dictionary. And if you'll notice there, tinkling is blank. So tinkling in 3:16, Isaiah 3 and 16, meant brass. So while we don't know what tinkling means in 3:18, according to the Hebrew dictionary, we know what it doesn't mean. It's not talking about jewelry. I looked it up in the Webster's dictionary. Tinkling means urinating. So we'll start off with tinkling ornaments. Ornaments, as we know, are embellished items. Ornaments and this word tires are actually used in the wrong form. I'm not going to say wrong. It was right for the ornaments was the right word for the narrative they had. But God told us in Isaiah 3 and 17 that the daughters of Zion were like wild asses. He talks about a pudenda. That's the external female genitalia. He talks about nakedness and how he's going to strip them down, these daughters of Zion. So he puts us in the area of, and not my words, but I'm going to use it, naked asses. Ornaments should read tinkling ornamental moons. That is nakedness. Let's go ahead and jump down here. We're going to go from cowls. no, I'm sorry. Ornaments, which we know should mean ornamental. Let's jump all the way down to moon. This word moon. In the Strong's Concordance, the Hebrew dictionary, the word moon is just like that word tinkling. I'm going to try to show it here. It's blank. See, when that word is blank, it doesn't tell us what it is, but it tells us what it's not. Now, and so look at the highlighted portion there. I'll show the top, that word moon. I hope you can see it. I'm also hoping that you will go and check these things out for yourself. I'm just doing this so you have a little bit of a reference point. Oh boy, I got a lot of shadows going on there. But anyway, moon, if you can see it all the way to the right, is blank. That blank tells us every other instance where the word moon is used throughout the Bible means the celestial body lunar. It's in reference to that. At this point, however, in 3:18 in Isaiah, that's not what it's talking about. So I looked it up in my Webster's dictionary. Working in the narrative that God put us in 3:17, the external nakedness of these daughters of Zion, this exposed nakedness. I looked at my Webster's. This word moon is slang for a naked ass. Naked ass. Here it is right here. I'm going to show you this definition. It's out of, what does it say, Wikipedia. I'll read it. So this is it. This is mooning, to moon somebody. There is actually almost a verb. But mooning is the act of displaying one's bare buttocks by removing clothing, for example, by lowering the backside of one's trousers and underpants, usually bending over and also potentially exposing the genitals. So this moon is something that the translators had no idea. I think it came into play maybe another 100 years after that. After the 1611 or 1500s or the 1600s. Maybe it came into use in the 1700s, but they had no idea. But God is, it's his word. And he told them, leave this word moon there. You may not know what it is. Don't change it, because our job in this, where we are, the end times, our job is to do what God told us to do. Study to show ourselves approved unto God. Workmen that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word to truth. How do you divide the word? You take it, you break it down, you go back, you come up, whatever it takes to fit the narrative that God, or the narrative that God would have us understand, which he's made very clear here with these daughters of Zion and their nakedness. So moon is their naked ass. It's nude. It's showing, it's bearing your bare behind. And that's what he's talking about. So in that day, the Lord will take the bravery of urinating ornamental moons. Just hold on. We're not done yet. Okay. While we're on the subject of moons, let's just stay there and we'll get to cowls last. Round tires. Let's go to tires right here. This word tires, saharon. These are all Hebrew words. Let's don't look here. Look right here. Tires. Saharon, number 7720, comes from the Latin word pendere, Pendere. In the Webster's, it's Latin. Here in the Hebrew dictionary, pendant. Again, this word, I wanted to show you. Well, we all know what a pendant is. It's like a round, he calls it a round pendant. But again, this is the wrong form of the word. It's not a pendant, but it's pendulous, like pendulum, going back and forth. This is now let's continue. This word also has, so let's see. I got my pendant here. This is a pendant, a round pendant on a chain. We know what a pendant is, but that's it right there. Kind of swinging back and forth. Okay, there it is. So, to sew let's go to the next word, tires. So I'm at 7720, right? Then I go to 7720, 7721, to rise. Remember what we're talking about here. We're talking about moons, okay? Naked asses. We're talking about tinkling ornamental moons and pendulous moons. Let's keep going here. So, SOW, 7721, to rise. 7721 tells me to go to 7723. Shaw means lying, vain, idolatry. It's saying that these daughters of Zion and what they're doing to their bodies, they're treating their bodies as temples. They've turned their bodies into temples of idolatry. They idolize and worship with the hair, with the nails. Here we are now with surgery. We'll keep going. This is very interesting here. 7723. Look at this word. We've seen it before. NASA, NASA number 5375. 7723 tells me to go to 5375. Look what it means. To lift. Think BBL. NASA, as we all know, is just Satan with the T minus, right? Minus the T. That's another video. We'll do it another time. 7724, false. Shiva, false. So we got 7720 all the way through 24. And in the middle, it takes us to 5375, to lift. That's NASA. So what is this saying? The bravery of tinkling. Let's go back up to the top. The bravery is the boldness. We know these daughters of Zion are very bold. The boldness of tinkling ornamental moons. That's pissing, urinating, ornamental asses. And round, pendulous, swinging back and forth asses. These are fake tinkling ornamental. Now, I will say this. Why does God talk about these ornamental asses as being tinkling, urinating? I do not know. I know as we continue in this chapter, we'll learn that God talks about catheters. Catheters, of course, draw urine away from the bladder. So I look, y'all, I'm not sure what catheters do, but I know they insert them like if you have surgery so that the urine is contained and controlled. But they insert it into the urethra area. I hope I'm saying that right. I got it. Okay, the urethra, the female, where urine exits. And so this is a tinkling, urinating, ornamental, fake moon, and a pendulous. This is the real one. This one must not move around too much. This pendulous tires swings back and forth. Okay, so let's continue down here with the cowls. He's got it, and here we are with this hair again. You know what I think I better do? Let me just show you if I can get to it quickly here. I want to show you this 7720 through 7724, just so that you have an idea of how it looks. Let's see, how am I close in there? Ooh, I got a lot of shadows. Please look these things up for yourself. It's so shocking to me that I want you to see that these things are there. And let me just show you 5375 if I have it. Oh boy, look at this. This is something a picture I picked up just looking, and look at, who is that, Cinderella? A shot at the Disney. Disney is bad news. That's sad. It's supposed to be a place for children to go. Let's see, 5375. Let me see if I can get to that so you can see Well, since I'm here, let's take pendulous. Pendulous means suspended so as to swing, hanging freely or loosely suspended so as to swing like a pendulous, like a pendulum swinging freely to and fro under the combined forces of gravity and momentum, often used in regulating the movement of clocks, right? So that's he's talking there that this pendulous moon swings back and forth like a clock, tick tock. In combination, it says here, under the combined forces of gravity, which is walking, which is gravity, which is what it is, and then the momentum of walking. We already talked about mincing and what we called switching. That's these daughters of Zion. Okay. So let's see what else we got there. Okay. Here's a picture of 18. While I got it here, I'll just show it to you. Where we just blotted out the italicized words. So let's go here. The last part is going to be, he's not done with his hair, right? We go back to this word cowls. Where are we here? And cowls. He just dropped them right there in the middle. Cowls is, in the Hebrew dictionary, number 7636. Now this is shocking, so just really hold on here. It's almost like God he's just tapping his daughter of Zion right on her shoulder, saying, I am talking to you. Okay. Cowls, number 7636, Shabyc, Shabis, means weave. This is shocking. So as I look up and down this column for words that look similar, have a similar root or a similar meaning, I go to 7635. There's this word track. I'll explain the significance of these words once I get done with 73, 76, 38. So 7635, track. 7632, unbelievable, split. I could have gone farther, but you got to cut this thing off somewhere. It's like God is just pouring his word out. You really need to have a hard copy dictionary. You need a hard copy Strong's Concordance. If you can get a Bible dictionary, get it. And everything that this word of God has for you, you will see it. Okay, so let me explain significance for those who are uninitiated, again, to this hair world. Weave hair comes on a track. Okay, so I got a picture and I got a sample of some here. Now, keep in mind, I hope you can see this. Oh boy, that's a track of hair. Now, hair, of course, these tracks come in every color, every length, every style. This piece of track of hair I had here is kind of curly, but it could be blonde, it could be long, it could be short. We saw, well, no, those were bundles we saw in the last video. But anyway, that's the weave. The track is this part that is at the top right here. This is the thing that the hair attaches to. It tracks along that strip. It's the strip of material, or looks like sewing. It's sewed in a track. And then split. Now this is really, I mean, if you are a daughter of Zion, you know exactly what splitting a track is. To split a track actually doubles the amount of hair. So let me just show you this. So this is how the end of a regular track looks. Look at the very tip, the end there. Can we see it? There it is. Okay. That's the end. That's a regular old track at the end, right there at the end. So this right here, this track is split. I hope you can see that. See how I split it? You see one side is blonde and one side is brownish. A lot of times, and I don't even know if people still do this, but back in the day, I know for sure, you'd hear people talk about splitting tracks to double the amount of hair. So that's what splitting the track is. Let me just show you this in the here we go. I'll show you the top part first. This is the Strong's Concordance, and that's the bottom. You can look these words up for yourself. That's why I give you the numbers. It's shocking and amazing. And if you can see it for yourself firsthand. The last word we got here is this word, Sabak. S-A-B-A-K, number 7638. It means, now check this out, y'all. It means to entwine or a netting. That's what it means in the Hebrew dictionary, a netting. So that's why I put net here. Here he's talking about wigs. He called it net. I mean, how much plainer can you get? And I took a picture. Also, sabak, which you can see it on that last shot of this of my tablet I gave. It means ornament to the capital of a column. So we know this word ornament means an embellished, something added to. The capital of a column is the head of a column. And I have a picture of this from my old school dictionary. We're almost done. This is going to be the last thing right here. Let's see. Here it is. Looks like a wig. This ornament that's on the top of this column, you see the column with the vertical, that's a rendition of a column. And then that cap that's on top looks like a bang and some wigs. This is amazing. Well, God is amazing, right? So this is his word. That's it. There's our word at the bottom that I always like to remind us of, these daughters of Zion. Meretricious, attracting attention in a vulgar manner. As my mom used to say, God rest her soul, she's coarse. She's vulgar. Tacky. God already told us that about her. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening. Part 4 is coming very soon. And God bless us all.